Hey everybody, we are back and we are continuing Girl Boss's journey as a vampire, as a baby vampire. So we last left off, the vampire sugar mommy said she had stuff she wanted to tell us tomorrow. And yeah, so we gotta rest. Once more, darkness falls upon the city. You wake up, same as... That loaded too fast. Okay. Once more, darkness falls upon the city. You wake up, same as you have these past few nights, in a windowless room. As you pry open the reinforced steel door, you look out the window to see, invariably, a sky bereft of sunlight, and then it hits you. The hunger. For a moment, you let yourself wonder if there will ever come a night when it's just not there. Given what you've learned thus far, you probably have as much chance of kickstarting your heart with jumper cables. Just 1 second. Gotta check a thing. Okay, never mind. Okay, we good. You lock the door behind you and head over to Sophie's apartment. You did promise to call on her. Might as well not keep the lady waiting. And hey, what else are you gonna do? I don't know, run around at night? See what's going on in the wee hours? Get in touch with your boss. He's probably looking for you, if only to scold you for the unattended files piling up on your desk. But what is he gonna do? Call the cops? Ugh, not worth the hassle. He's probably just panicking right now, and the whole company's probably collapsing because it seems like Girl Boss was doing everything, and now she's not there. So we're just gonna let them karmically suffer for that. You're almost hoping the few coworkers that seem to give a shit about you were faking it. It would make things easier, a fresh start from the ground up, just like old times. These thoughts put you in a weird mood. It's a strange sensation to walk the crowded streets, same as you have so many times before, but feeling so disconnected. All these people, you're not one of them. Not anymore. You're a vampire, kindred, and you need to carve your own path in this strange new existence, one way or another. Appropriately enough, you arrive at Sophie's building just as that thought crosses your mind. A quick word with the security guard, and you're let into the elevator. Apparently, Miss Langley is expecting you. Of course she is. You knock and wait patiently as the footsteps on the other side grow closer. Finally, the door opens and Gregory, Sophie's driver, invites you in. Is this guy just her driver, or is there more going on, I wonder? You find the lady herself standing by the window, silhouetted against the city's midnight glow. She stares out motionless, like a marble statue. Dot, dot, dot. Um... Everything all right? And am I interrupting something? Or good evening, Sophie. I'm gonna ask her if she's okay, cause like I don't know, it seems like something's up with her. Is everything all right? She doesn't react immediately, but seems to snap out of some meditative state and looks at you with strangely bleary eyes. Yes, it is. How kind of you to ask. Yo, I just realized she kind of looks like Chaperone. She kind of looks like Chaperone a little bit. Okay. Tell me. Except Chaperone's not that old yet. Okay. When you look out at this city, when you see the lights, hear the hum, smell the rain on the pavement, what do you think about? You gaze out. Well, I mean, like, what she's describing just sounds like New York summer. Let's go check that. Yeah. Hear the hum, smell the rain on the pavement. Yeah, that I don't know, that the rain on the pavement, that just makes me think about the summertime when you have those crazy summer rains. Okay, you gaze out, the lights and rain, the relentless honking below, music blasting from a nearby window, echoing off buildings. Someone should record an hour of this and throw it up on YouTube as an ambient piece. Yeah, I don't know, there's something that can kind of be interesting about it, but other times, again, I don't know, it's annoying. Other than that, though, it's business as usual. The sights, the sounds, the smells, you know them all too well. Sophie watches you. You can tell she's disappointed somehow, but she covers it up with a courteous smile. Well, not everyone can appreciate the intricacies that the world offers. In fact, among kindred, my clan is somewhat notorious for finding innate meaning in even the mundane. You see, the blood that flows within me is that of Clan Toreador. Oh, that was that other clan that we had the option of choosing in the beginning. There are 13 such bloodlines among us kindred, though that number has been contested in the past, and these nights it seems that nothing is certain anymore. Okay, let's... Oh, no, I clicked the wrong thing again. Let's see what these new definitions are. Okay, clan. A bloodline of vampires who share the common characteristics passed on through the blood from sire to child. There are 13 known clans. So I wonder if girl boss not being able to deal with normal blood is because of like it's like an issue with her sire. Okay, Toreador. Many Toreador emerge from the ranks of accomplished artists, both new and faded, but not all artists need to wield a brush. To the Toreador, art encompasses all forms of entertainment and stimulation. The clan of the Rose courts the greatest actors, singers, writers, dancers, and even sex workers. If the degenerates believe such mortals will offer something new to their clan. Despite the custom of embracing only the best, the Toreador fixation on beauty and innocence has caused many a diva to make a fledgling in haste. Many a moonlit night. Man, imagine them just like going for like a random influencer because like some weirdo considers that art now. And then then they're stuck with some annoying influencer as a vampire. That would be horrible. Many a moonlit night do clan members have just emerged as shallow hedonists, one-hit wonders, or just a stunning body with nothing else to offer. Nicknames: divas, harlots, sensates, perverts, hedonists, degenerates. Okay. The clans have gone many epithets over the years, but the names used these nights have their roots in medieval times, the original Inquisition, if you can believe it. How old are you? I was assuming you're like from like, you know, like the early 1900s maybe. But maybe you're older. Will we find out? Let's see. They use these to categorize us, describe our inherent differences. In time, we adopted them ourselves. Each clan has a uniqueness about it, inescapable, originating from an ancient progenitor carried from sire to child. For the Toreador, the gift lies in a sensitivity of sorts. We are uniquely attuned to beauty and ugliness both. We can see either where most cannot, a blessing on most nights, occasionally a curse. The sheriff of my clan as well, although you'd be hard-pressed to see him as such. Poor Kadir. It breaks my heart to see him in this state. See, if he's like in your clan and he can see the beauty in things, that explains why he's a Mets fan. Yep, that explains it. Okay, still, there is a beauty to it as well. Nothing like a good fall from grace. So you people you just thrive on drama. Try as she might to act playful, you can tell she genuinely cares. She lets her gaze wander for a brief moment, but is quick to regain her composure. Then there are the Ventru. Known for their pride and proclivity to rule over others, the prince represents that clan, as is quite common in our society around the globe. Where the blue bloods think themselves ruler, the Bruja like to see themselves as preeminent revolutionaries. They call for universal rebellion while being slaves to their own temper. We don't discuss the rabble much anymore, not after they've largely broken off with the Camarilla to think they were philosophers once long ago. I hope to tell you more about some of the other bloodlines tonight. Okay, what's my clan? How can I tell? Can clans stick together? Okay, I'm gonna assume that's not true. How can I tell a clan? I kind of want to know what clan I'm in. Maybe she knows, so I'll ask her that. Yeah, do you know what my clan is? No, I can only guess it based on certain aspects of your behavior and taste. You will need to come to your own conclusion and seek validation from your clanmates if you require such a thing. As you will no doubt learn, some kindred fit these stereotypes more than others. The blood is hard to deny, though there are certainly those who try. But that is perhaps a subject for another time. I invited you here for a reason. There is something I wanted to speak to you about. Wait, it wasn't this clan stuff? Okay. It is customary in our society, especially among younger kindred, to organize into coteries. Sometimes these are called by the prince themselves or mandated by a fledgling sire. In our case, you may treat it as more of a strong recommendation. I want you to seek out companions not only because you need to learn more about our society, but also because it's useful. I mean, that makes sense. True friendships are rare among kindred. But having allies, even temporary ones, is something of a necessity these nights. We might be selfish creatures, but we are drawn to each other nonetheless. Where should I look for allies? Do you have your own coterie? What if I want to go it alone? Yeah, do you have your own? So tell me, are you part of a coterie? Any close allies? I do have those that I trust enough to work with, yes. Not a coterie exactly, though I have joined several of those over the years. Not in over a century, though. Okay, so you're at least 100. You, however, you would do well to meet some of the city's younger kindred and see if you can find a connection. It's an essential experience for one so young. She puts on a mysterious smile. I spent some of my precious time last night asking around, pondering potential kindred. What do you mean your precious time? You have, like, so much time, lady. And okay, anyway, whatever. Okay, pondering potential kindred for you to meet, came up with a short list of contacts. I hope you'll appreciate the gesture. Forging a partnership with them might offer perspectives and viewpoints that I cannot provide, lenses through which to view our kind. They are all members of the Camarilla, of course, more or less. Thanks, I guess. That's kind of rude. You're choosing friends for me? No, let me just ask who they are. Alright, then let's hear it. Who's on the list? Eager to learn about them, I see. Good, I'm glad. So let us start with Tremere. They are a powerful clan, disliked by many but feared and respected by many more. They have been an important pillar of the Camarilla since the very beginning. They are blood sorcerers. Blood sorcerers. You flash back to one of those nights when your ex would stay up late playing video games. Not a pleasant connotation. Sophie snickers. Oh, child, don't be caught with that look on your face when you meet a warlock in person. They really are adept at using vitae, their own as well as others, to unique and potent effects. Okay, let's find out what this thing is. Oh, okay, vampire blood. Okay, I guess they do stuff with blood. I guess. I don't know what they do with it, but okay then. Since they are quite rigid in their hierarchy, the kindred I had in mind for you might need some persuading. His name is Agathon. From what I hear, he's quite the scholar, very ambitious, the child of a noted Tremere here in New York. Asling, Sturbridge. Spend enough time with Agathon. Agathon does not sound like a modern person's name. You said these people were going to be younger, but okay. I'm sure you'll run into her sooner or later. Yeah, blood magic sounds interesting. Oh yes, fascinating. It's also a well-kept secret of the Tremere. Don't expect them to share it right away. Some things have to be earned. Anyway, if you wish to contact the young Tremere, I hear you can usually find him in a New Age bookstore out on Broadway. The Tremere have one of their workshops there. Gregory will give you the details. What do you mean out on Broadway? I feel like the bookstores, they're in like the Village. Like if you're looking for like a New Age bookstore, it's gonna be in Greenwich Village, or it's gonna be like in Brooklyn. Broadway's a very big street. Like specific New Age bookstore, I don't know. I'd have to look up to see if there's something like that there. But if you said like in the Village or like St. Mark's Place or some crap, I'd be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's a neighborhood for that. But it's kind of ambiguous. Let's continue. Now, this next recommendation comes with a bit of a caveat. As you recall me saying, most bloodlines have unique features that might not be obvious at first glance. Well, there is one clan whose members wear their curse on their sleeve. The Nosferatu. The way she said it, you're pretty sure it should mean something to you. Other than sounding foreign, it doesn't ring any bells. Just thinking of a black and white movie. I know they made a new Nosferatu, but like, I'm just thinking like the old silent film Nosferatu that SpongeBob made fun of. Anyway, no wonder they make their havens in sewers, abandoned buildings, and such. Yeah, that sounds right. Sewers sounds right. Their appearance is hideous and obviously unnatural. Had they walked the streets like other kindred, the humans would... I don't know how to say kinny. Is that kind? Kine? Would have learned of our existence long ago. Did she just shudder? It's hard to tell with her usual complexion, but you could swear her skin suddenly took on an even more sickly color. The one I have in mind isn't as big an eyesore as the worst of them, but he is no Adonis either. Still, he has some talents and connections that you might find useful. His name's D'Angelo. He has an office, for a lack of a better term, in the otherwise abandoned grain terminal in Red Hook, right next to one of those Swedish stores. The name escapes me. The ones with the awful furniture. Oh, he's by the Brooklyn IKEA. What IKEA? Okay, I don't need to mention. I'm gonna ask about what connections he has. She doesn't need to know that the name's IKEA. You mentioned this. D'Angelo has some useful connections. I was just getting to that. D'Angelo does odd jobs for Kadir, digging up dirt, locating kindred who would prefer to remain hidden, the kind of work the Nosferatu are best at. He's on a case right now, something to do with human murders, I think. After your initial brush with our dear sheriff, I think it would be wise to show some goodwill towards his agenda. Assisting D'Angelo with his investigation might be just the thing. She takes a brief pause to look out the window again. Now come the two more exotic proposals. Exotic, as if the blood mage and the vampire detective were business as usual. You may have heard about the Gangrel before. They are a wild clan in touch with their beast in a way others might not dare to attempt. They mostly keep out of big cities, but there are exceptions. Nominally, they haven't been part of the Camarilla for over 2 decades, but the one kindred I would like you to meet has a strong, shall we say, familial ties to the sect. Her name is Tamika. Her sire, Jezebel, was instrumental during the Battle of New York back in 1999. Okay, I guess this is some vampire battle. The very same battle that cemented the city as a Camarilla domain. Sadly, her achievements have gone largely unrecognized. It sounds like the vampires aren't treating the lady girl bosses right either. Tamika and a number of her siblings still reside inside the domain they were awarded after their battle. After the battle, Prospect Park. Jezebel herself left the city some years ago, fed up with being underappreciated. Let's see. Anything more about Tamika? Okay. I asked around, out of all of Jezebel's childer, okay, childer. I guess that's their plural for children. Tamika is known to be the most rational and cool-headed, at least for a gangrel. That said, she's likely to have a unique way of appraising your worth. I cannot say how exactly, but you should be prepared for an interesting conversation at the very least. Then again, that could be said of almost every kindred in the city. There's that mysterious smile again. So you see, seeking out Tamika could prove quite educational, if nothing else, and who knows, perhaps you will find her temperament to be a welcome change of pace. But speaking of a change of pace, I have one last suggestion for you, though it's one I don't make lightly. The kindred who calls herself Hope. She's a Malkavian. They are a uniquely cursed clan. For centuries, we considered them mad, insane, unhinged. But those of us who spend enough time with them come to understand the truth. It's no sickness, but a unique perception of the world that has them appear to us as unstable, and that perception can prove to be very valuable. Having a Malkavian as your companion might be taxing on the nerves and a true test of patience at times, but their insight and intuition are unrivaled among kindred. As for Hope specifically, she is said to be a recluse, but I have it on good authority that she can currently be found in an internet cafe. Man, I was just about to say she's a hikikomori, but like, okay, I believe it's in Lower Manhattan. Gregory has the... Do they even still have internet cafes in the city? Like, I know they have them in Japan. They're like all over Japan, and it's cool, but like, do they have them in New York anymore in this day and age? I'm not aware of any. Okay, Gregory has the address. Let me ask, where'd you learn about Hope? Where did you learn about her? One of my colleagues told me about her. He considers her uniquely talented and tapped into the current fads among humans, not something I am personally interested in, as I'm sure you know by now. I take his word for it at any rate. Well, I believe that's all of them. I still have a few social calls to make tonight, so I'll leave you to it. Use tonight and tomorrow night to arrange some cordial visits of your own. I will send Gregory for you as soon as I have further need of your services. Oh, that reminds me. You will need a car. Join us downstairs, won't you? Oh, cool. Do I get to drive? Do I get to drive? She smiles once more and turns to her driver. He helps her put on her coat, and the three of you leave Sophie's apartment. Sophie points to one of the cars near the building as Gregory hands you the keys. Yo, I get to drive! I get to drive. Yeah. No, no, we're not gonna. Okay, so it's a rather inconspicuous compact car, a decent looking, if not luxurious ride. Oh man, is it a little sports car? Stay safe, girl boss. This is your first night alone. Don't let it be your last. As they drive away, you find yourself with more freedom than you've had for the past few nights, a blessing or a burden, time will tell. With a list of addresses in hand, you consider your next move. Okay, where are these people at? Oh crap. Okay, so okay, this is probably Tamika. It's Brooklyn. Okay, that's the dude who's by the IKEA. These are these other people. All right, so let's see. I'm thinking about where we can. I know this isn't what it's based on, but I'm considering where we can find parking because, as far as I know, we don't have money, and I feel like if we go to one of the Manhattan ones, we're gonna have to pay for parking. I think parking's probably a little bit more likely in Brooklyn. If she's in Prospect Park, I don't know if we can like drive the car. We can. It's a huge park, so we can probably drive the car into parts of the park or something, and park illegally, and that's not so bad. But I don't want to double park in Manhattan, even if it's late at night. So I'm gonna pick Tamika first for the parking reasons. Oh, wait. Okay. Oh, we can click on them and learn more. It wasn't like a click and final decision. Okay, Sophie mentioned a gangrel neonate by the name of Tamika, who's made herself haven in Prospect Park. The Ferrells aren't exactly a social bunch, even by kindred standards, but if you can keep her from clawing your eyes out just long enough, she might be persuaded to join you. I am interested in the detective guy. I am interested in figuring this out because maybe we could track down the SOB who sired me and finish him. Okay, so Hope, yeah, I don't know about seeing the Hikikomori. Who is this guy? Oh, the magic guys. Okay. Um, yeah, he's like way uptown. Yeah, yeah. I wanted to see her first anyway. We'll see if we get to see the other ones or if we have to do another playthrough. You make your way through the Grand Army Plaza, passing the Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Arch. You can't help but feel a tinge of nostalgia as you picture the place you've seen, um, as you've seen it countless times in broad daylight teeming with life. You quickly get over it and pass through the northwest gate into Prospect Park. The park is its usual maze of unkept foliage and dimly lit alleys. Silence hangs in the air as it would at this time of night, and there doesn't appear to be any sign of kindred presence. You start to suspect Langley's sources fed her a bunch of bullshit, but you're not willing to give up just yet. As you ponder your options, you hear footsteps coming from behind a line of trees, quick but evenly paced, most likely a late-night jogger. No vampire would take kindly to you feeding in their domain, but then again, perhaps you could kill two birds with one stone. Um, hmm. Hmm. Okay, well they said she's kind of temperamental. I don't want to upset her, so let's seek out the haven and then we'll take our next feeding opportunity. You head south, delving deeper into the less frequented section of the park. Passing a babbling stream, you make your way into the ravine. Home to some of the oldest trees in the park, it's the place to go when you want to get away from the crowd and enjoy some one-on-one time with nature, and that's during the day. At night, it's bound to be a gangrel's delight. Making your way through the brush, you come across a rocky crevice hidden behind a wobbly chain link fence. You leap over the fence in a single bound, trying to land as quietly as kindredly possible. The crevice looks deep enough for you to think twice about jumping in. Instead, you peer into the darkness below, listening intently. In a split second, the air by the side of your head swirls like a vortex. Driven by sheer instinct, you lean back just as five finger-shaped razors cut through the darkness, missing your face by an inch. A clawed shadow jumps back a few paces, preparing to correct its mistake. You catch a glimpse of the assailant. Looks pretty animalistic, all right, but he's not the one you're looking for. For starters, it's a he. Just as he's about to lunge at you, a snarl resounds from the bushes nearby, stopping your foe in their tracks. Out of the shadows emerges a young woman. Baring her teeth ever so slightly, she walks over calmly, her eyes fixed on your assailant. Her presence is enough to make him reconsider attacking you, but not to withdraw completely. He glances over to her, puffing up his chest. Stay out of it, Tam. I smelled her first. Tam, how about that? She raises an eyebrow but remains silent. Her compatriot turns back towards you. You shouldn't have come here, girlie. I'm gonna fuck you up so bad you'll be wearing your tongue as a fucking necktie. Like, dude, okay, that's really extreme. Tamika looks at you expectantly. Mm, yeah, like I'm not looking for a fight. You made your point, okay? Confirmed badass. I'm not looking for a fight. Tamika tilts her head in a way that's barely noticeable and yet strangely expressive. She seems disappointed. Man, I should have used the dominate option, but like since I didn't eat that person, I didn't want to use up my powers. The man loosen up, his lips twisting into a wry smile. Clearly, you just gave him the confidence boost he needed. Figures, you know what you look like, a stuck-up bitch, all high and mighty in a boardroom, but out in the wild, you're just a scared little girl. Well, guess what? You ain't getting off that easy, chicken shit. A fierce growl echoes across the alley, stopping the savage in its tracks. Tamika walks over to her comrade, her fangs glistening in the dim lamplight. She puts her hand on the side of his head, caressing his hair and tugging at his ear as if she were scolding a puppy. She leans over and speaks in a voice that's firm yet oddly affectionate. It's okay, Raoul. I'll handle it from here. The male gangrel looks at her with a mix of timidity and resentment. Then he turns back towards you. Fine, they're not worth the effort anyway. Having said his piece, Raoul retreats into the shadows, although if you were to guess, he's likely to stay within earshot. With her companion gone, Tamika turns to you once more. What do you want? Okay, straight to the point. Yeah, I like that. I don't care what you like. Now quit stalling. You have something to say, say it. Um, I'm looking for partners. I come with an offer. I'm willing to offer you my services such as they are. I would hope for in return is a fruitful, long-lasting relationship. So you want to help me with something because you want to be my friend. That about right. Um, yeah, that's right. Uh-huh. Okay, she puts on a veneer of skepticism, but you can tell she's intrigued. That's very earnest of you. It's also kind of silly, but I think I'm okay with it. What I'm not okay with is putting my ass on the line and getting stabbed in the back for my trouble. So why exactly should I trust anything you say? I don't expect you to. This isn't like Jezebel. Hmm. This is hard. Hmm. Which one do we pick? I feel like I'm gonna screw this up. Um. See, I don't expect you to, not yet anyway. Be good, good because my trust is earned, not given. Yes. Okay, then let me earn it. A few nights of your time, that's all I ask. For a brief moment, she stands there motionless, looking straight into your eyes as if trying to size you up. Finally, she looks away. It looks like she's come to a decision. Just so that we're clear, I don't trust you. I have no reason to. Frankly, you sound more lost than I am. Still, there's something about you. You look like you should reek of bullshit, but somehow you don't. So I'll give you a chance to prove yourself. I have some outstanding business to take care of. I'll let you know once that's done. Meet me here and we'll see what you're really made of. And with that, Tamika disappears into the night. That went pretty well, all things considered. Okay, then. Okay, so I guess we have time to see one or two more people. Um, we're already in Brooklyn, so it'll be faster to see the other Brooklyn guy, and I was interested in what he had going on, so... Oh, I need to rest. Okay, we'll see that guy tomorrow then, or another day. Okay. You know, says something strange by the front door of your haven. A letter's been slipped under the door in a cream-colored, old-fashioned envelope. There's no name on it, but you know it's meant for you. Old-timey envelope? Maybe it's from Sophie. Opening the letter, it's clear it's been by someone incredibly old-fashioned, rich, or a fan of classic stationery. No normal person sends letters like this. No, okay, there are... I would send my friends letters like that because I think it's fun. Anyway. The note is short and terse, written in elegant, delicate handwriting. You're cordially invited to a rendezvous at the Cathedral of St. John the Divine. I'll be waiting to make your acquaintance tomorrow night. Look for me closer to God. There is no other information. It looks like you have a mysterious invitation for the following night. Well, I mean, I said I was going to meet Tamika again, so... Okay, I'm on returning to your haven. You find a small scrap of paper lying on your windowsill. Need a favor? If you're still up for it, come meet me in Prospect. Damn, yeah, I'll go see her. Okay, we go right back to where we got jumped before. No sign of Tamika. You begin to worry that something might have happened to her. I think she's okay. Suddenly you hear rustling coming from the nearby bushes, and it's not the stray cat kind of rustling either. Tamika. The rustling stops, if only for a second. Suddenly the bushes part, and Rao walks out, desperately trying to look confident. You wish. Listen, I wanted to have a word before Tam gets here. She seems to like you for whatever strange reason, but the way I see it, you're a nuisance at best. At worst, you're a threat. Yeah, is there a point to this? Point is, Tamika is my sister in every sense of the word that counts. Anything happens to her that I find even remotely your fault, I'm coming after you. Okay, is that clear? Um, I don't think she needs a babysitter. Um, yeah. Don't think she needs you babysitting her. Oh, she's plenty capable. Given the opportunity, she'll rip your guts out if you cross her. What I'm saying is, if anything happens to Tamika, I'm holding you accountable. All of a sudden, the sound of footsteps reaches your ears. It's just faint enough to be ostentatious, but still loud enough to hear. You can tell that whoever's approaching wants to make their presence known. Both you and Raoul turn just in time to see Tamika emerge from behind an old sycamore tree. It's hard to tell just how long she's been listening in on your conversation. In any case, she walks up and speaks, addressing no one in particular. Did I miss anything? Your brother's worried about you. He seems to think I'm a bad influence. Ah. In an instant, her voice goes from mockingly sweet to stern and unyielding. Her next words sound like a challenge. Is that true, Raoul? You think I can't take care of myself? God damn it, Tam, that's not what this is about, and you know it. I know, big brother, you meant well. You always mean well. Ah, screw it. Why do I even bother? And with that, Raoul takes his leave. Tamika waits in silence, just long enough to make sure he can no longer hear her, and addresses you. I have a favor to ask. What is it? I have an errand to run. I was hoping you'd come with me. There's a place east of here. It's a short walk. We should be back in about 2, maybe 3 hours. Um, yeah, 3 hours? That's not short. Sorry, I'm used to much longer distances than that. I forgot not everyone is. You think you can handle it? Uh, I mean, yeah, sure, let's go. Well, alright, okay. And so you head towards the parking lot, accompanied by Tamika and a lot of unanswered questions. Following Tamika's directions, you finally arrive at the Evergreen Cemetery. It's Evergreen. I don't think there's an S in it. I'll double check, but I don't think there's an S. I think it's just Evergreen Cemetery. One of the oldest burying grounds in Brooklyn. It's one of the biggest cemeteries in the city. You enter through the southwestern gate and follow your companion through the sea of tombstones. It's a nice enough place as far as graveyards go, much less homogenized than the usual flat field littered with identical markers. Okay, lady, writers of this, you have clearly not been to cemeteries in New York City. So, like, if you're from Brooklyn or Queens, you probably live by a cemetery. Most places, there's a lot of cemeteries in Brooklyn and Queens, and a lot of them are not homogenized. They have like trees and stuff, and they're nice. They're nicer than a lot of parks because you don't got to deal with screaming children, right? So you just go in. There's nice big trees and stuff. Some cemeteries are lame. Some cemeteries are good. But yeah, Greenwood. I mean, not Greenwood. Yeah, Evergreen Cemetery. No, wait. Did they say Evergreen? Oh, is this a different one? Did I misread that? I think Greenwood Cemetery is the one. Let's see. Oh, Evergreen. Okay, that might be a different one. I gotta look up maps to find out about that. I was confusing that with Greenwood Cemetery, that really, really massive one that like parrots live in and stuff. Okay. Much less homogenized than the usual flat field littered with identical markers. Tamika confidently presses on, swerving and weaving along a pre-programmed path. It's clear that she's been here more than a few times. Finally, she makes a sharp left and takes a few more steps down a gravel walkway, coming to a sudden stop in front of a modest headstone. The inscription reads, Luca Santiago, beloved sister and daughter, born 1991, taken from us too soon. With her eyes fixed on the gravesite, she lets out an absent-minded utterance. I need a moment alone, not long, 5 minutes at the most. You look around in search of a good spot to wait for her and pass the time. At the far end of a nearby lawn, you notice a lone bench situated under a weeping willow. Suddenly, you hear voices, distant but slowly approaching. Judging by the tone and timbre, you're guessing it's a couple of teenagers out to get their late night kicks among the dearly departed. Let me just see. Teenagers. Okay. I don't think. I'm not even sure if teenagers still screw around in the cemeteries at nighttime now. Lately, they've just been trying to like hijack the trains or they go subway surfing. I feel like hanging out in a cemetery is far too normal for these new Gen Z New York kids and all the trouble that they get into subway surfing and then dying because why do you do that? Okay, anyway. Yeah, I will let's see. Yeah, no, I'm gonna eat them. Okay. I think I'll go grab myself a drink, just do it quietly. I don't want any trouble, not here. Okay, we'll try to couple in their late teens, judging by the thick eyeliner and their clothes consisting of most okay, it's goth, yeah, that makes sense. You'd venture a guess that they'd love nothing more than to meet an actual vampire. You're happy to oblige. As you emerge from the shadows, you can feel your all intensify. The boy and the girl watch you, completely awestruck, waiting for you to approach. The slightest gesture is enough to shoo the boy away. He sits on a nearby bench and watches, completely enamored, as your lips press against the girl's neck. It's a weird sensation to feel actual, honest to good God pride in a victim's blood, but here you are. She's glad to have been chosen in this way. This is so convenient. You just happen upon goths in the cemetery, and they're like, the boy's like, yes, I'm gonna watch my goth queen go get to have fun with a vampire. You take one look in the boy's dark brown eyes to realize he's hoping for your attention too. Something about him doesn't feel right to you though. Instead, you decide it's a good idea for both of them to forget the whole affair. Grabbing their attention, you focus your newly refreshed blood and will their minds to erase the last few minutes. Finally, you get back to the tree and find Tamika sitting on the bench. Without a word, you sit next to her. You look over to her, doing your best not to stare. She looks down, crossing her arms and putting hands on her shoulders. In an instant, the ferocious savage disappears, replaced by a vulnerable young woman. I think I'm done. Um, yeah, do you feel like sharing? No, but I guess I owe you an explanation. She looks away. You can tell she's struggling to open up to you, so you remain silent, trying not to make her uncomfortable. I was embraced not far from here, in the cemetery, a fitting spot, I suppose. It was close to a decade ago. I'd been on the road for a couple of years at that point, hitchhiking from one town to another. New York was supposed to just be another stop. And then I met Jezebel. She was strong, smart, independent, seemed like someone I could trust, someone I could get close to. She never made me feel inadequate or ashamed, and she could hold her own in a fist fight too. Funny thing though, she only wanted to meet during nighttime. Yeah, that's kind of sus. I didn't think much of it, even came up with excuses for her, busy, eccentric, whatever worked, until one night she sank her teeth into my neck. Yeah, at least you knew your sire. Can't say the same for myself. For a brief moment, she looks at you with genuine sympathy. Yeah, I'm sorry. She then looks away, if slightly embarrassed by her own reaction. Anyway, she left soon after turning me. I think the conclave of Prague really shook her up. She left you alone? Not exactly. There was Raoul and Luca. But we were all just pups. Sure, we were together, but still hopelessly lost. I'm not gonna lie, I felt betrayed, furious, terrified. Luca died a few years later. Operation Lights Out, they called it. It was a coordinated assault by the Second Inquisition, a genocide by any other name. Okay, is this Inquisition? Oh no, wait, did that come up? Yeah, Inquisition. Is this like a human thingy? A collective name among vampires for the recent coordinated efforts of intelligence agencies to combat the kindred as if they were a terrorist threat. Okay, so I guess it is humans against them. Few individual agents understand what they are fighting, and the intra-agency collaboration codename First Light places enormous importance on keeping their operations secret and disguised as ordinary anti-terrorist action. Her family got together, bought up a plot, and buried an empty casket. I guess they wanted some closure. Can't fault them for that. Even though she's not really here, I like to come and visit from time to time. It reminds me of who I am, keeps me in check, keeps the beast at bay. Also, this being the place of my embrace, you have to appreciate the level of irony. She straightens up and looks at you as if something just occurred to her. Sorry, I don't know what came over me. One minute I'm all grunts and stares, the next I'm giving you my biography. I guess I'm just tired of being scared alone. So, yeah, you don't have to be alone. I used to think so, but those were simpler times. At this point, I'm just looking for something to believe in, someone I could give a damn about. I mean, yeah, you have Raoul. She smiles sadly. Will I? Don't get me wrong, Raoul is my brother. The bond between us is not easily broken, but he's got ideas and ambitions of his own. He won't always be there to watch my back. I can't expect that of him. You open your mouth before you can make a sound. Tamika motions at you to keep quiet. She lifts her head and sniffs the air. Her ears perk up and her eyes widen. Suddenly, she pushes you with all her strength, sending you flying off the bench. Before you even hit the ground, an immense shape flies into view and smashes down into the bench, splintering it into pieces. With the blood surging through your veins, you pounce onto your feet. You look at the mass of fur and muscles that just nearly pulverized you. The creature rears its head and gives you a deranged stare. Then it turns to Tamika. She seems utterly terrified, frozen in place, as if she literally just saw a ghost. You notice the creature shift its weight, preparing to pounce. Um, yeah, shield Tamika. Feeling your body strengthen with inhuman resilience, you jump in front of the beastly assailant, breaking the force of its attack. Still, the sheer weight of the creature slams you onto the ground. If it wasn't for your supernatural endurance, you're pretty sure your spine would turn to powder. Suddenly, the beast lets out a pained roar. In a flash of consciousness, you see Tamika hunched atop the monster's shoulders, her claws plunged into its eye sockets. Floundering like a fish out of water, the monster finally managed to shake the feral Valkyrie off his back. The creature then turns towards you. For a second or two, it moves its mouth awkwardly, as if trying to remember how to form words. Stay out my ground. Okay, I guess we have werewolves or whatever this guy is. The creature runs off towards a nearby clearing when all of a sudden a gunshot sends it tumbling onto the ground. A group of well-armed men in body armor emerge from the shadows in an orderly formation and moving closer around the creature. Okay, this is kind of weird. I'm gonna get away from this. We don't want. Yeah, not sure what to make of what's happening. You figure it's best to get out of sight. As you start backing away into the nearby bushes, you notice Tamika following your lead. From the relative safety of the thick foliage, you watch in silence as the group of armed men subdue the creature using steel nets and cattle prods. In the corner of your eye, you catch Damika looking away as if she finds this whole spectacle somehow distasteful. She speaks under her breath, her voice shaking. Can we get out of here? You see no reason to object. The walk back turns out to be a quiet and somber experience. You both walk in silence, the city, blur of lights and cars careening by. You look over to Tamika. She seems lost in her thoughts. Finally, you decide to break the silence. What was that thing back there? Yeah, yeah, are you gonna be okay? That thing back there really spooked you. I don't know. She catches herself and quickly attempts to hide her vulnerability. Yeah, I think so. It's just that I always have heard stories about this that scared one, sacred one. I never thought I'd actually run into him. That's the only name he's known by. He's a cautionary tale for young Gangrel. He's what happens when you let the beast take over. Oh, he was some other vampire that just went nuts. Okay. I always figured him to be more of a metaphor, seeing him in real life. It's like if a Christian just had happened to run into Judas Iscariot one day, and seeing him haunted down by the SI, I don't know what to think. I don't even know where to start thinking. Deciding to give her some space, you spend the rest of the walk in silence. Soon enough, the familiar tree line of Prospect Park comes into view. You stop by the entrance nearest to Tamika's Haven. She keeps walking without so much as a word or glance in your direction. She stops after several paces and turns back towards you. I'm sorry, thank you for coming with me, but now I have a lot of shit to figure out. Once I do, I'll let you know. And with that, she disappears among the trees. Seeing no point in sticking around, you take your leave. All right. So let's see. Yes, we will. I think we will leave off at. Yes, we will stop here for tonight, and we will continue tomorrow by meeting the detective guy. Okay, have a good night, everyone. I will see you next time.